Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Calvin Tobin Show. I am your host, Calvin Tobin. Today we have a lot to talk about, so let's get right into it. All right, the conference finals of the Stanley Cup playoffs are officially here, and game ones of both series are in the books. Now, Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals went to the Colorado Avalanche as they beat the Oilers 8-6 in a crazy thriller. And last night, the Tampa Bay Lightning played their first game for the first time after a 9-day rest. Now, you might think that a 9-day rest would help out a team tremendously against a team who hasn't had more than 2 days of rest the entire playoffs. Well, it's the complete opposite because the Rangers are still in rhythm with continuous play, as the Tampa Bay Lightning were just sipping on pina coladas, waiting for this series to start. And it paid off for the Rangers because the Rangers put an absolute smackdown on the Lightning, beating them 6-2. Now, game ones are always the hardest in every single series because that's the game where you got to figure each other out. Figure out how are they going to play, what's their strategy, how are they going to go about their offense and defense through the entire series, and then that's what they can expect the entire series of what's going to happen. And in game one, Tampa had absolutely no answer for the Rangers because the Rangers were just faster and stronger, bobbing and weaving between Lightning players all night long, and just making the Tampa Bay Lightning just look silly. And what's crazy about this is five different Rangers scored a goal, and Philip Cheadle scored his second 2-goal game in the last 3 games. If there is one dude that Tampa needs to stop and slow down, it is definitely Cheadle. Now, as for Tampa, there is some very fortunate news because some of their injured players from the Panthers series are back in playing, like their left wing, Brandon Hagel. He had a lower body injury, which looked like to be his ankle that he suffered against the Panthers. Came back in game 1 of this series and looked very solid, but he's got to take it slow so there is no setback. And the other highlight of Tampa Bay news is their superstar center, Brayden Point, is skated for the first time yesterday since suffering a lower body injury in Game 7 against the Toronto Maple Leafs. He was skating around, not putting too much pressure on the injured area, and just getting his feet under himself and making sure that he's good. But the unfortunate thing is that John Cooper said he is very doubtful to return in this series. Now, for me, I believe that there is a chance that Brayden Point can return in Game 6 or 7. That's what I believe, because Brayden Point is a beast. Like, this guy loves to play, and no injuries can ever hold these Lightning players back. They just love to play so much. And this series is definitely going 6 or 7 games. We got 2 of the best goalies going at each other for 7 games to come. Igor Shesterkin and Andrei Vasilevsky. These guys are built for the playoffs, and now we just got to see how these games are going to turn out. And what's crazy, it turns out that LeBron James is officially in the 10-figure market. Are you kidding me? 10 figures, a billionaire. Now, it's not too much of a surprise from what LeBron has done throughout the entirety of his career. From his career earnings, to his I Promise school, to his signature shoe. He has been truly one of a kind all series, all career long. And what's really crazy is that he is the first active NBA player to ever become a billionaire. The only other player that ever became a billionaire, but wasn't in his career, is Michael Jordan. From his iconic shoe to his career earnings. Like, these guys have changed the game and the shoe game for the better, and nobody has done it better in basketball than these two, and that's why these guys are billionaires for a reason. And besides, LeBron has been a superstar since before day one. Ever since like his high school days, everybody had eyes on this dude because he is the perfect basketball player from what he has done and what his stature is. And he has been unbelievable. He has outlived and outperformed all the expectations and still continues to do it. And now let's see how much longer he can continue to do it, because he just dropped nearly 30 points a game in year 19. Man, it is absolutely crazy that he is a billionaire. Keep on grinding, LeBron, and congrats to your new milestone. Now, Deshaun Watson is grinding everyone's gears right now as he just received his 23rd lawsuit of assault. Like, are you kidding me? Like, at this point, we got to look at what the NFL and or Cleveland Browns are going to do in this situation. Are they going to even try to resolve this situation? Are they going to look at the situation from outside in? Because 23 different lawsuits by sexually assaulted lawsuits by 23 different women, this is getting absolutely ridiculous, because this situation and problem has gone on for longer than a year and it has yet to be resolved. Now, to me, it seems kind of obvious that this is just a money grab for these women, because you're telling me that 23, it's now 23, originally 22, but now 23 different women are putting a sexual assault lawsuit on one single man, and they still have yet to put this dude behind bars if it's really true. Like, it seems very, very suspicious that it's very well a money grab, because I know these women know that Deshaun Watson got his new 5-year, $230 million contract. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous, because Deshaun Watson cannot handle this by himself, and the way that it's going about right now, it seems that like that's all the NFL or the Cleveland Browns are going to do. They're not going to figure out to see if this situation is real or not, and I truly do believe that this is a money grab. Now, here's the thing. There might have actually been a couple of women that he may have actually sexually assaulted, but who knows, because this situation has yet to be resolved, going on for longer than a year. Like, this is crazy. Like, longer than a year and a situation has yet to be resolved. Like, should Deshaun Watson be behind bars, or are these women for the money grab? Now, if it was a couple women, like 2, 3, or 4 women, I would believe it more that Deshaun Watson actually did this. But 23 women, that seems very obvious to me, at least, that this is just a money grab, and that this situation is not going, and yet there's no solution to its problem. I feel so bad for Deshaun Watson, because it seems like he is completely singled out in this situation, because he could be completely innocent. Like, these women could be pulling an Amber Heard for God knows what reason. But the fact that there's been no solution to this problem just shows that the NFL, to me, it's showing that the NFL and his new team just does not care. Now, the Utah Jazz is facing possibly its biggest problem in its organizational history because their three most important guys are potentially about to leave in one offseason. And the three guys are head coach Quinn Snyder, Donovan Mitchell, and Rudy Gobert. The players are on trade rumors right now, but with the head coach, Quinn Snyder, as of recently, he just talked to the team management and they just came out and said that there's a possibility that he is going to leave the franchise. If all three of these guys leave the Utah Jazz in one offseason, this has to be the worst offseason and worst situation for a single team in sports history, because how many times do you hear where the three best players or three best guys on a single team all leaves at the same time? Like the staff members, the owners, the managers, everybody behind the scenes of the players and the head coach, they have got to get this situation figured out, because if this goes down where they all leave, they're about to go from a top seed to a bottom seed real quick. And if they don't keep them, they are about to start off at square one real quick. Now, what's been really quick is how fast this NBA season has gone by, because now we are now at the NBA Finals of Game 1 with the Boston Celtics and the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors are at their 6th NBA Finals in 8 years, and the Boston Celtics are appearing in their 22nd NBA Finals and their first one since 2008. Can the Celtics win their first title since 2008? Who knows? But here's an interesting thing about what's going on about this NBA Finals specifically, and somehow it's actually gone throughout the entirety history of the NBA Finals, because the NBA Finals winner every single year, every single one has had a former Knicks player, and every single team that has had that former New York Knicks player has gone on to win the NBA Finals, and the Celtics have that guy. So, is the superstition going to continue on? Is this trend going to continue on? Is Boston going to get their first NBA Finals for the first time since 2008? Who knows? And in this series, there's also a lot at stake. Like I said, can the Celtics win for the first time since 2008? Can Clay, Steph, and Draymond all get their fourth ring together? And can possibly Steph Curry get his first Finals MVP? There is truly a lot at stake. Now, I'm honestly not following the superstition. I got the Warriors in 7 games. That's my prediction, where Clay, Steph, and Draymond will all get their fourth ring together, and the dynasty will continue on. All right, that's the end of the Calvin Tobin Show. Please subscribe to my podcast so you don't miss out on any sports media. And please follow me on Instagram at Calvin Tobin Show so you don't miss out on any sports news whatsoever. And